Hello, my name is Bobby Thandi. I'm the founder and CEO of TIGA Games. We're a game studio making console and mobile games with a specialism in VR and AR. Today I'm going to present on Angry Birds Under Pressure, designed in VR for family fun. At TIGA Games, our mission statement is XR for everyone. The reason for this is simple. Extended reality technology will eventually lead to virtual interfaces that are basically identical to those that we use in real life. Take Job Simulator, a game about picking stuff up. Can you pick stuff up? If so, you can play the game. Cats don't get it because they can't pick stuff up, but people can and do. We're some way from a technology that can perfectly simulate a real-world interactions, but plenty of games and apps prove that what is currently available in VR is enough to promote simple, fun, transparent interface experiences. There's no reason to procrastinate. We want to make cool games for everyone, and we want to make them now. Some even say that once XR technology advances, it'll become indistinguishable from real life, and that's when we'll prove out the simulation theory. Or we might be living in a simulated world now. That's what these smart folks think.
I find it hard to argue against that possibility.
Now you can see a video game that's photorealistic, then eventually those games will be indistinguishable from reality. How do we know that that didn't happen in the past? And that we're not in one of those games ourselves?
Maybe we are, maybe we're not. But for now, TIGA Games has a simple goal. We want more people in VR, because I, along with Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, Oculus, Resolution Games and others, believe VR and AR will become the next major computing platform. But it'll take a minute before the form factor decreases to the size of a pair of spectacles, or even better, when you're next choosing a pair of spectacles at the opticians, you can choose anti-glare, anti-scratch, VR and AR add-ons. And just last week, Mojo Vision showed the media the world's first true smart contact lens, which features a 0.018-inch micro LED display that you wear directly over your eye. So whether it's a pair of XR spectacles or contact lens, at TIGA Games, we believe it will become ubiquitous once the form factor improves. Until then, we're improving our VR game development skills, with each game being more fun, more immersive, and making better use of VR technology. Our latest game, Angry Birds VR Under Pressure, which was made in collaboration with our awesome partners Rovio and Sony Pictures Virtual Reality, is a testament to this improvement. For example, we were voted by the public as a TIGA Game of the Year finalist, by experts as a TIGA Best Social Game finalist, and by Forbes as Best for Entertaining the Kids, in addition to an array of other great accolades. Now I'd like to talk about how we designed and developed this game to deliver VR for family fun. But first, what problem were we trying to address? Nowadays, families and friends are spending more time alone together. I'm not sure, hands up if you've ever experienced this when you're with your friends and your family. Me too. And when I was looking around my living room, and it pained me to see my eldest playing Fortnite on her Nintendo Switch, my youngest watching YouTube on her iPad, my wife playing Candy Crush, and myself on my phone doing work emails. Similar to this image here. Obviously, it's not my family, but middle-class folks do exist. We appear to have an addiction with our device when we should be relishing our time together and having fun. And I imagine few folks have experienced this too. Not playing VR outdoors, that's a little bit weird, but being with your friends in a social setting and one of you puts on a VR headset. Now the group has become isolated from the VR player and the VR player from the group, albeit in an alternate reality. We believe we've come up with a solution, a couch co-op VR game that uses Sony PlayStation's social screen technology. First, we needed a world-famous intellectual property that would work for all ages, hence Angry Birds. Second, we needed technology that would facilitate social play and also enable kids younger than 12 to join in the fun, as not all parents allow their children under 12 to play in VR. To this end, we settled on Sony PlayStation's social screen technology. This enables one player to use the VR headset, while up to 3 other players use DualShock controllers and the TV screen. Now the whole family could play together towards a common goal, which is great because my kids constantly fight, especially when they're competing. The winner is buzzing, the loser is sad. So I'm most pleased when they play this game where everyone works together towards a common goal and sharing the win. So high fives all around. Here's the trailer for our game.
It's time to put aside old grudges. Frenemies unite! night. I'm in peace. In the Angry Birds Movie 2 Under Pressure VR game. The manic multiplayer experience. Where teamwork saves the day. Gather your flock and watch the feathers fly. With the Angry Birds Movie 2 Under Pressure VR game. Available now from the PlayStation Store.
So this is the captain's view in VR, and they can use their Magna Shot to grab treasure from the sea. All the captain's tasks involve the Magna Shot, which is this game's version of the slingshot. It sucks stuff up as well as throwing things out, including the crew. So if you're my daughter, you'll grab dad, your sister, fling them into the furnace, burn them, and then howl with laughter. Fortunately, the game believes in reincarnation, so the players simply return to the deck after disappearing in the furnace. And this is what we found to be really fun. The crew player and the captain can't do the same things, therefore they need to collaborate. TNT can be thrown into the furnace by the crew, but the captain has to blow up the furnace before the timer reaches 0. In this video, the captain succeeds on the right, but fails on the left, resulting in friendly abuse from his crew, who now need to fix the submarine. So it's up to the captain to keep the crew together, but because there's more crew members than captain, they're going to blame the captain when things go wrong. And yet, on the next go, you can swap roles. So the asymmetry really lends meaning to the game by seeing things from the boss's point of view and then the worker's point of view. So when I'm the crew, I love it because I don't feel a sense of responsibility like I do at work, and you can take the piss out of the captain when they mess up. In terms of major problems that we encounter, they can be summed up as tech and game design problems. The biggest tech problem we faced was maintaining 60 frames per second. This is difficult because the game renders 3 screens at once. This is essential for comfort, and it's a testament to XR Games' highly skilled tech team that no one feels ill in our game. I'm not qualified to talk about the code, but I'll leave that to my development team. But to that end, my dev team have just finished a blog piece on all the tech challenges and how we overcame them. So for those who are interested, my contact details will be at the end, and I'll happily share their blog post. But I'll just touch on a couple of highlights. One of the specific recommendations of that blog post includes spreading the word. So we realized serious frame spikes can be caused by a multitude of effects happening at once. Sounds, animations, UI updates, etc. So this will result in your FPS dropping below 60 and your game being rejected by PlayStation when you submit it for VR consultation. So this is when PlayStation checks for your game for comfort, amongst other things. The reason being that when the FPS drops below 60, it causes discomfort to your players. To avoid this, write your code in an event-driven style which spreads the work across frames, and the user will never know. In summary of the blog post, extensive optimization was needed to reach our target frame rates. We took it upon ourselves to carefully consider how best to work under these restrictions ahead of time. The PlayStation has to power 3 screens, the 2 screens in the VR headset, the 1 on the TV, so you're essentially working with a third of the processing power of the PlayStation 4 to make a console game. So by thinking of these restrictions, it allowed us to develop a social screen game with little to no detrimental effect on overall quality. Focusing on trying to create a fun, interactive multiplayer experience along with a strong graphical fidelity and user-friendly gameplay design, we always had to put performance at the heart of everything we did. On the game design side, a major difficulty is communicating information via 2 different views, the TV view on the left and the VR view on the right here on this image. And for different players with different tasks and different responsibilities, a total mind bend for our game designers. For instance, we have 2 interfaces, VR and TV, so our tutorial has to teach both simultaneously, which again was very difficult for our game designers. And Richard Boone, head of game design at XR Games, wrote a great guest blog piece on PlayStation's website about the design challenges we face. So again, feel free to reach out and I'll link you to it. However, the end result was a lot of laughter. These are some shots from user tests in home, user tests in the studio, and even though we set out to design VR for family fun, it was cool to see the game resonate even with university students. Here's some footage of a user test.
Boom! Oh my god, the submarine is actually huge.
Hey, boys, what did I got here? I got a mad ball. What did I do with that?
And I even got to go on a mini world tour with PlayStation, and I had the pleasure of watching hundreds of players from different countries all laugh and have fun, whether that was at Comic-Con in Montreal, where players played the game in French, in Chile, or here at Game XP in Rio de Janeiro, where folks played the game in the Portuguese language setting. It was just simply amazing to see the game work across different languages and people have fun universally. And it was also cool to be placed next to Iron Man VR on the PlayStation booth. And I'd like to wrap up on a serious note. XR Games have been very fortunate to be provided with great support from Sony Pictures Virtual Reality, PlayStation, and Rovio, which is great for a startup. Without them, it would have been much harder to deliver this project on time, on budget, and to rave reviews from critics. So thank you. Please do get in touch if you have any game development needs or want more info on the tech or game design challenges and solutions. My contact details are here on the screen, and thank you again.
Thank you, Bobby. That's lovely.
Thank you.